Welcome, friends, to Rouse Raider Baseball 2019. Well, we're here at the season opener for the Rouse Raiders, and it is a home opener. And we're excited to get some baseball action in tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Francis alongside my good friend, great friend, and our operations director for SHN Sports, Rob Hipp.
Well, Michael, pleasure being here and excited about another season here for Rouse Raider Baseball. Appreciate all your hard work over the years. You have done a phenomenal job here for this program, for this school, not just baseball, but a lot of things here at Rouse, and appreciate you, Michael, being here. And I think your son graduated, right?
He did.
So you're still on for the journey, man. So we appreciate you.
So this is actually my 6th season of Raider baseball broadcasting, and we're excited to get this thing underway for tonight. We'll go over the lineups here. For Hutto, the visiting team, the Hutto Hippos. Leading off will be number 7, Tyler Kelly at third base. He's followed by number 16, Carson Babb in left field. Number 2, Kyler Curlin will be at short, and he will be followed by number 5, Luke Bannister behind the plate. Batting 5th, number 8, Ricky Graham at first base, and the designated hitter, number 17, Gage Bame. He will be hitting for the pitcher, Drew Rembish. Batting number 7, number 9, number 12 in right field, Jason Vogelpool. He will be followed by the center fielder, number 10, Zane Gardner, and rounding out the order will be number 11, the second baseman, Joel Aswa. For your Rouse Raiders, leading off, number 6, Jake Alepa in right field. He will be followed by number 55, Dalton Porter in center. Designated hitter for your Raiders tonight will be number 23, Jared Southern, and he will be followed by number 24, the first baseman, Lance Little. And batting 5th, number 22, Connor Bennett at short. And batting 6th, number 1, Dylan Lewis behind the plate. Number 34, Fisher Kingsbury, will be your starting pitcher on the hill tonight for the Raiders, and he will be followed by number 13, the third baseman, Isaac Upchurch. Rounding out the order for your Rouse Raiders will be number 14, Alex Servatus in left field. So exciting times for Rouse High School as we get the 2019 season underway. This will be Coach Krempine's 3rd year as the skipper of the Raiders. He comes in with an overall 50-21-2 record with back-to-back playoff appearances, a district by district and area championship under his belt since he has taken over at the helm for the Rouse Raiders. The 2018 record for the Rouse Raiders, 24-11-1, as they are set to get things started here shortly in Leander, Texas. It is a brisk evening for Raider baseball tonight, or baseball in general. So, and like one of my baseball favorites of all time, Mark Holtz, always said, it's baseball time in Texas.
There you go. I know, Michael, I know you, man. You're a good friend, and I know you've been waiting to say that for many months now, so it's good to hear that back over the broadcast waves. And what an exciting time here for baseball in February. It's cold, and you rewind just a few days ago. You know, I was calling a game for St. Edward's University this past weekend. 91 degrees was the high down in Austin at Camp Mabry, and today we're looking at temperatures that are barely getting into the 50s here, in the low 50s, upper 40s. This is a team, though, Michael, as you're well aware, we talked to Coach Krempine just briefly before this game here earlier. 16 seniors now gone from last year's team. So this, in a way, is kind of a rebuilding year here for Rouse, but under the leadership of a solid coach in Chad Krempine. You know, I see this team continuing to excel just as they always had under his leadership.
Absolutely, and with only 5 players with any varsity experience coming into tonight's game. We'll take a moment for the national anthem. We'll be back with you shortly. Well, our crowd mic not working right now, and some technical difficulties going on, and Rob's working in the background to try to get this thing going so you can actually hear some of the sounds from the ballpark here at Raider Field on the campus of Rouse High School here in Leander, Texas. Play ball is the order as the Raiders have taken the field with Fisher Kingsbury on the hill for the Raiders. Dylan Lewis behind the plate. Lance Little at first base. Matt Garcia at second base. Connor Bennett short. And Isaac Upchurch at third base. In left field, Alex Servetus, Dalton Porter in center, and Jake Alepa in right field. Due up for Hutto will be number 7, Tyler Kelly, number 16, Carson Babb, and number 2, Kyler Curlin. Fisher Kingsbury getting his warm-ups in. Wind blowing out of the north. It's overcast skies. Some wispy clouds overhead. And so while we're working out the kinks and bringing you Raider baseball tonight and getting things started, we're really excited about this 2019 season and getting things underway.
Well, Michael, several teams, a little bit of realignment, so maybe some new faces that we'll see throughout the season here. Of course, this a non-district game, so getting a little warm up here. The home opener as well for Rouse here tonight in Leander, Texas, and they had a scrimmage the other night. As you went to that, by the way, I believe.
Absolutely,
correct?
They played the Aikens Eagles here at Rouse, and was a good scrimmage between both squads, and just excited to get things underway. Hutto, a former district rival, and with the realignment this year, they have moved into another district as with this new district realignment, baseball has followed the basketball district schedule. Number 7, Tyler Kelly stands in with Fisher Kingsbury on the mound. He toes in on the rubber, picks up the sign from Lewis. Lewis sets up. Breaking ball down and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch. That's swung on and hit down the third base side. That's off the glove of Isaac Upchurch. Kelly around second base. He'll be in with a double.
A great leadoff double there for Kelly as he was able to get around. And it's going to take a little bit of time here, Michael. You got to wonder, this cold air, your hands may be a little stiff out there. You've got to start working through it. We'll see what the changeup here now with the left-handed batter.
Kingsbury deals, and that pitch is cut on and fouled off for strike 1. 0-1 the count for number 16, Carson Babb. Babb batting from the left side. Kingsbury looks back at second. Curving ball that's cut on and missed. And that will advance Kelly to third base.
Yeah, he he'd already taken off there and hit the dirt. Wild pitch.
Nothing and 2, the count. Swung on and missed, and Babb is retired on strikes.
Well, back-to-back lefties here to start. In the order here for Hutto.
One away for the Kingsbury. Curveball catches the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch from Kingsbury. Changeup is cut on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 the count to number 2, Kyler Curlin. Curlin also batting from the left side. Kelly at third. Kingsbury deals a fastball. It misses for ball 1. 1-2 the count to Curlin. Kingsbury picks up the sign from Lewis. Caught in the air by Upchurch on the line. That's a liner and an out.
Yeah, that ball lined right over there at third, able to snag it down. Michael, he was just a few, literally arm stretches away from being able to tag him back also. It could have been a double there. It would have been hard, but a good effort there at third by Upchurch.
Pitch in the dirt as Luke Bannister stands in. He'll be batting from the right side. Number 5 for the Hutto Hippos. Pitch in for a strike. Nothing in 1, the count to Bannister. Kingsbury with a breaking pitch that gets away from Lewis. That'll score a run.
Yeah, Kingsbury was starting to find a little bit of rhythm finally, Michael, but unfortunately there, one got away, runner able to come around and score and puts Hutto on the board first this afternoon.
1-1, this is inside for ball 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would have been ruled a wild pitch on Kingsbury. Strike on the outside corner. That'll even the count up at 2-2. Nope, we missed a strike or ball somewhere. It's full count to Bannister. The wind and the delivery misses low for ball 4.
Next up for Hutto, Ricky Graham.
And Michael, we're going to have another runner come in here at first base for Hutto. So I believe they're switching out. So pinch runner going to come in over there at first base. Yeah, it's Trey Pinelli out there now at first. Pinelli's going to take off here.
Ooh. Throw wide of the bag, and that'll allow Trey Pinelli to advance. A ball on the pitch. 1-0 the count. The pitch in for a strike. Number 8, Ricky Graham, stands in for the Hutto Hippos. Runner at second with 2 outs. 1-1 the count. Kingsbury spins off and looks Pinelli back to second base. Hutto leading Rouse by 1-0 here in the top of the first. Lewis gives the sign. Kingsbury deals. This is cut on and hit over to second. Garcia makes the play on it, has it, throws over to first in time, and that'll retire the side. The damage is done as the Hippos score 1. 1 hit, 1 run, and no errors here in the top of the first.
Michael, good there for Rouse as well, because Garcia fumbled around a little bit with that at second, was able to get his hands finally in place, but that could have been a scenario where you've got a runner on first as well now, but luckily Rouse able to get that last out and get out of this image. But what you just said here in this inning, able to get out, but what you just said, giving up that 1 run early. We'll see if the rhythm can get back here, but hey, this is a good opportunity. Now we get to see a little bit of the Rouse offense and some of these changes this year. I know we're leading off with some veterans, but as we go through the lineup, we'll see a lot of kids that we haven't seen too much of, Michael, so we'll see what they can do out here to start things here early in the season in non-district play.
Please remember to visit the concession stand. Hot dogs, nachos, hot chocolate, hot coffee, water,
Hutto takes
sodas,
the field
candy, and
in their
popcorn.
black uniforms. They're wearing black pants, black tops with gray stripes on the sleeves and orange stripes on the sleeves, orange piping down the pants, burnt orange belts, gray numerals that bordered in orange.
I was going to say, luckily you've got the orange numerals because, or at least the outline in orange, Michael, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time seeing those numbers here this afternoon. There's some schools in some states now, they're making changes to where the numbers really have to stand out. You know, I wonder when we're going to see that here in Texas. It may be a while.
Leading off for your Rouse Raiders, number 6, Jake Alepa.
Start us off, Jake.
Your Rouse Raiders, leading off for your Rouse Raiders, number 6, Jake Alepa. Rimbish deals, misses low for ball 1. One and 0 the count to Alepa. Pitch gets the outside corner, fastball for strike 1. 1-1 the count to Alepa. Bannister gives a sign. Rimbish winds and deals. Another fastball right down the middle for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Jake Alepa. Number 55, Dalton Porter on deck for the Raiders. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball outside, and Alepa will get to first base on the wild pitch.
Next up for your Raiders, number 55, Porter.
One on with no outs. Dalton Porter swings around and is rung up on the strike. Drop third strike allows Alepa to take first base. The 0-1 put throw over, not in time, as Rimbish throws over to Graham.
Boy, Graham was about a split second too high. If he didn't have to turn around, that could have been a pickoff.
Oh! Graham It wasn't too high that time. Rimbish picks off Aleppa.
I didn't mean to jinx it, Michael.
Well, that's is what it is. Porter swings and fouls this one off. Another fastball from Rimbish. Nothing at 2, the count to Porter. The pitch. Strike. Fastball on the inside corner. And he catches. Porter looking for out number 2. 2 away.
Next up for your Raiders, number 23,
Number
Southern.
23, Jared Southern comes to the plate. Jared Southern, the senior. He has already signed his commitment to the University of Texas as he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Southern. Rimbish winds, he deals. Breaking ball, he catches the inside corner for strike 2. Oh and 2 the count to Southern. The pitch from Rimbish, high and outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count to Jerry. Lance Little on deck. Pitch down and away for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Rimbish winds, he deals, pitching from the stretch, a swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Raiders in the bottom half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. And on to the second we go. Rob with Hutto leading your Rouse Raiders 1-0.
Well, impressive pitching there for Hutto and Rouse. But they're starting not able to really do much. They had an opportunity. They got the hit to get over to, well, it wasn't a hit on first.
No, it was a drop third strike.
Yeah, and that's how he reached over to Thurston, was able to get over there to that, but unfortunately not able to come around, and we'll see what happens here in the top of the second. We'll see if the Rouse pitching. We saw earlier Kingsbury having a little bit of difficulty early on. He started to find a little bit of rhythm on the mound. We'll see what he can do here to start things off in the top of the second.
Due up for the Hippos in the top of the second be number 17, Gage Bain, number 12, Jason Vogelpohl, and number 10, Zane Gardner. Kingsbury back on the hill for the Raiders, wearing the number 34.
Next up for Hutto, number 17, Bain.
Bain stands in from the right side. Kingsbury deals outside for ball 1. A 1-0 pitch from Kingsbury, pitching from the stretch. This is cut on. It is hit deep to left. Servetus back makes the catch, and Bain is retired. One away, and that'll bring up number 12, Jason Vogelpohl. Pitch in high and inside to Vogelpohl.
Next up, number 12, Vogelpohl.
1-0 the count to Jason Vogelpohl. Kingsbury winds, he deals in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Vogelpohl. This game originally was scheduled for a 7 o'clock start. Pitch catches the outside corner as he deals an off-speed pitch. 2-1 the count to Vogelpohl. And they wanted to try to get this in before cold front blew in. A swing and a foul.
Yeah, don't know if that happened, Michael.
That'll even the count up at 2.
I think the cold front decided it was going to get here sooner.
Much sooner. 2-2 the count to Jason Vogelpohl. Kingsbury picks up the sign from Lewis. He deals as he lost the handle on a curveball. It's high and outside. That'll take the count full. 3-2 the count now to Jason Vogelpohl. Payoff pitch from the stretch. Fastball misses low, and Kingsbury issues his second walk of the night.
Next up, number 10.
Michael, if I'm not mistaken, that other walk came on a payoff as well.
Yes, I believe it did. Now batting, Zane Gardner, number 10. One on with one out here in the top of the second. The pitch, fastball in for strike one, which looked really similar to that last pitch that he didn't get the call on. The throw over to first. Not in time, as the umpire said he was safe, but I tell you what, that's a bang-bang play from Kingsbury to Little.
Yeah, Little felt pretty confident. You could see him after he got down. He thought he got that one, Michael.
Good pickoff move by Fisher Kingsbury. The 0-1 to Gardner. Gardner shows bunt, and the pitch goes outside. He pulls back for ball one. That'll even the count up, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. It's cut on and missed for strike two. 1-2 the count for Vogelpohl. The thing with baseball, always when it starts up, Rob, it's usually pretty cold. 1-2, swing and a foul. And the count will remain at 1-2.
Yeah, when we headed down to talk to Coach before the game, I thought I'd be brave and say, you know, I'm just going to run down there for a second. I don't need to grab my jacket. Well, that's not a good idea.
Right, and then you met somebody you knew, and that held you up a little longer.
Yep.
Made you a little bit colder.
But you always meet good people here at Rouse, man.
The 1-2 pitch from Fisher Kingsbury. That's hit right back up the middle to Kingsbury. He throws over to first. And Gardner is retired. That'll be 1-3 on the putout. But that will advance Vogelpohl to second base.
Yeah, he thought about going to Vogelpohl over there at second, but just didn't feel like he had a good angle at it. Decided to go over to first and took the out.
Next up, number 11, Azua.
Number 11, Joel Azua, stands in. Azua batting from the right side. Throw back to second. Gets through the glove of Connor Bennett, and Vogelpohl advances down to third base on that pickoff move from Fisher Kingsbury. Runner at third with 2 outs here in the top of the second for the Hutto Hippos with Joel Azua, the 9th batter in the order. That's cut on and hit over to short. Bennett has it. Throw over to first. In time, and the Raiders get out of a jam to get the out. That will go 6-3 on the putout. And the side is retired. No runs on no hits, no errors. And on to the bottom of the second we go with the Hutto Hippos leading your Rouse Raiders 1-0 here in Leander. Due up for the Raiders in the bottom of the second, Lance Little, Connor Bennett, and Dylan Lewis. Well, I guess the good thing is that we get to sit up here in this nice little press box, Rob, and have some warm air going along with us.
Yeah, some of the players were up here before the game. Of course, you know, they use the cabinets above us to store things, and they came in here and they go, man, we're going to hang out up here for a little bit. And you talk about it. We mentioned it earlier. This cold weather here in Texas, you're not used to, even though it changes so much. These kids out here, their hands are cold. They're trying to get warmed up, and it's going to take a while for everything to really fall into rhythm tonight.
Number 26, Lance Little, steps in as he will see Rembish for the first time tonight. Rembish has a sign. He deals a slider in for
Leading
a
off for the
strike.
Raiders, number 26, Little.
0-1, the count to Little. Bennett on deck. The pitch from Rembish. This is cut on, and this will go through the gap into left field. And Little gets on with the Raiders' first hit of the night.
He's going to try to go over to second. Can he get there in time? Did he get tagged?
He did get tagged. And the Raiders waste an
Next up for your
opportunity on a
Raiders,
base
number
running mistake.
22, Connor Bennett.
Gets the hit, but he's caught stealing. At second base, one away. Base runners seem to be at a premium. Pitch cut on and missed as Connor Bennett stands in. And count 1-1 to Bennett. Dylan Lewis on deck. Pitch bounces outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Bennett. Bennett, the Raider shortstop. Pitch in from Rembish. Fastball for a called strike. That'll even the count up at 2-2. Pitch, this is hit over towards second base. Aswa loses the handle on it, and Bennett reaches on the error.
Next
That'll
up for
go
your
down
Raiders,
as an
number
E4.
1, Dylan Lewis.
To Aswa.
The first error that we've seen tonight.
That'll bring up the catcher, Dylan Lewis. Number 1. Rembish with the pitch. This pulls the shortstop to the left. It's not going to make it in time to get Bennett, but he does get Lewis at first.
Now, Bennett able to get over there into scoring position, and Lewis, though, not able to beat it out. Had a good opportunity, Michael, just split second too short.
He did, as Curlin was playing the shift and moved over towards second, and the hit caught him. He played it opposite glove hand, was able to make a good play to get Lewis out at first. That'll bring up number 34, the pitcher, Fisher Kingsbury, as he takes for ball 1. Rimbish picks up the sign from Bannister. Pitch, that's inside for ball 2.
Had to do the inchworm maneuver on that one, Michael, to kind of shake and bake his way out of the way.
Isaac Upchurch on deck for the Raiders. 1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Connor Bennett standing at second base. The pitch, this is cut on and hit over towards short. And Bennett dances away from the ball. And Kingsbury drives in a run. Oh, he calls him out. They're calling runner interference.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bennett was over there dancing in front of the ball. And, yeah, they finally said, look, wait a minute.
Yeah. So they're going to call him out. Kingsbury.
He didn't even move on the ball.
Fans voicing their displeasure, so.
I don't know. To me, that's where it's got to be hard, Michael. But to me, sitting up here watching, he was just trying to see which way the ball was going. He didn't want to get hit by it. He moved out. It still was in the reach of the glove there by the fielder. It's one of those calls that you just got to say, wait a minute, you know. You just keep playing.
Yeah, well, Coach Crimping didn't argue it. He didn't necessarily disagree. So I think that's one of those things where, you know, he did hesitate there in front, knowing he was in front of the shortstop and blocked his line of sight, and definitely was be ruled interference.
Yep. And you just got to play. That's the way it goes, and that's the rule of the game. And sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't, but you just got to keep playing, and that's the way the rules work, Mike.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, as the Raiders don't get anyone across. On to the third we go with your Rouse Raiders trailing the Hutto Hippos 1-0. Now, this is what you expect to see at the first of the season, Rob. You expect to see the rust between the two squads. And, Coach Crimpine actually kind of voiced that to us before the game. You know, there's a lot that's got to improve before we get to district play. So, and he knows that he's got his work cut out for him when you have to replace 16 seniors from a squad, and he only had 5 players that had any varsity experience. The 2 most notable, Jared Southard and Dalton Porter. And, of course, Lance Little, he played last year on varsity. And Connor Bennett, he had some appearances in varsity, but did not start off the year there. Fisher Kingsbury back on the hill for the third, as he will face the top of the order and Tyler Kelly.
At bat number 7, Kelly.
Kelly just hit that one foul way off the first base line there. We'll see if he can find his swing here this evening.
Kelly with a leadoff double, his first appearance. The 0-1 pitch, fastball, gets the outside corner for strike 2, sorry. 0-2, the count to Kelly. Kingsbury toes in on the rubber, he deals. That's in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2, now the count to Tyler Kelly. Kingsbury has the sign and he deals. This is cut on and it's just hit out to left. Kelly rounds, he's trying to make it second and does with a stand-up double. Back-to-back doubles for Tyler Kelly, showing exactly why he's in that leadoff spot, Rob.
And already in scoring position here in the top of the third with this team leading 1-0. And unfortunately, that pass there in the field going out of the reach of the glove, that could have been possibly an out if he was able to snag that, Michael.
Carson Babb stands in. He swings and fouls one off for strike one.
At bat number 16, Babb.
Alex Cervetus throwing to his cutoff man, Connor Bennett. Just kind of seemed to impede the play. One on with no outs here in the top of the third for the Hippos. Kingsbury steps off and resets. Babb batting from the left. Kingsbury comes set. He delivers high and outside for ball one. 1-1 the count. Kingsbury comes set. He looks back at second. He fires right down the middle. This is popped up out to left. Cervetus plays it, makes the catch. And Babb is retired for the first out. Not deep enough for the sacrifice.
Next up, number 2, Curley.
Number 2, Kyler Curlin. Now stands in. Curlin lined out to third. His last time up, this is bunt, throw over to first. Will not be in time, and he legs it out for an infield hit. Get the
Next
single.
up, number 5, Bannister.
That'll put runners on the corners. Runners on the corners with only one out. They're trying to run into the pickle. So they're trying to work the out and see if they can get Babb out. And an error on the Raiders. That's off the glove of Bennett, and that'll allow a run to score. Raiders were doing a good job of keeping Kelly at third base with Curlin in the pickle. But an error allows the run to score. That'll go down E6 on the error. Fastball in for a strike to Bannister. Nothing in one, the count to Bannister. Curlin at second base. Lewis looks Curlin back to second. He had an extended lead. Lewis calls time to go out and talk to his pitcher. Maybe he's seeing something he wants to communicate to Fisher to possibly pick this kid off.
Yeah, it's a good time for him to come out there and say, hey, we've just got to settle down a little bit here. And as we talked to Coach before, he talked about early on in the season that there's going to be some times where this team is they're going to struggle early. You got a whole new squad. We talked about it earlier with all those departing seniors, but we've seen it year in, year out with Coach Krempine and the work that he does here with the school and these kids, and they'll find their groove.
Kingsbury comes set, checks Curlin back at second. He deals. This is cut on and fouled off for strike 2. 1-2 the count. The pitch from Kingsbury. That's in the dirt. And Curlin takes off down to third, and he will reach easily. As Lewis not able to make an attempt behind the plate. 2-2 the count. The pitch, swing and a miss. And Bannister is retired.
Next up, number 8, Graham.
2 away with a runner on, a runner at third for Graham. Graham grounded out to second, his first appearance back in the first inning. Pitch from Kingsbury. Misses low for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Kingsbury comes set and delivers. Misses wide outside
Attack him, Fish. Attack him.
for ball 2. Lewis gives the sign. Kingsbury checks Curley to third. Deals a swing and a miss for strike 1. Bring the count to 2-1. 1 on with 2 outs here in the top of the third, with the Hutto Hippos leading 2-0 over your Rouse Raiders. 2-1 pitch for Kingsbury. This is cut on and hit over short, and it has it to throw over to first in time to finally retire the side. But another run comes across the plate, and both runs that have scored for the Hippos have been through Tyler Kelly. So the Raiders end up giving up 1 run on 2 hits and an error. And on to the bottom we go with your Raiders trailing 2-0.
Well, Michael, I want to welcome in everybody into the broadcast this evening. We sincerely appreciate you watching and spending your Monday evening with us here on SHN Sports. It's always our true honor and privilege to bring you Rouse baseball now here on SHN for the second year in a row. And Michael, you've been doing it for quite some time. You know, this is your 6th year now, and we just want to thank Rouse and the Rouse Raider Booster Club and all the fine work that they do. You know, there's not a lot of schools in the area that get to have great coverage, and we're honored to be able to bring that here, Michael. So, again, thank you to everybody that's joining us this evening, and it's going to be a great season.
Well, it's a great partnership with SHN, and it's probably one of the best things that have happened to our program is getting on board with a quality, reputable company like SHN Sports. People of character and integrity that we want to be a part of, and we're glad that they want to be a part of Rouse Raider baseball.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see if the offense now back to bat, if they can turn things around here. Rouse trailing by 2 runs here in the bottom of the third, Michael.
Leading off, number 13, Isaac Upchurch, as he takes for strike 1.
Leading off for your Raiders, number 13, Isaac Upchurch.
This is cut on and out to right. Vogelpool unable to make the play, and that'll fall in for a Texas Leaguer base hit for Isaac Upchurch. Raiders get their second base runner on of the evening.
14, Alex Cervitas.
Vogelpool was trying to chase that one down, but just it's one of those that drops right where it needs to go. Great leadoff here for Rouse. This is what they need, Michael. They need some momentum here in the bottom of this third inning, trailing by 2.
Alex Cervatus lays down a bunt and goes foul for strike 1. So he laid it down the first baseline. Nothing in 1 the count your Rouse Raiders trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Once again, Servetus attempts to lay down the bunt and fouls it off. And is behind in the count. 0-2.
All right, relax. Put in play now.
Aleppa on deck for the Raiders. Beginning to see some action in the Raider bullpen. Throw back down to first, wide of the bag, and it pulls Graham off, and Upchurch able to get back in time.
Relax. Put in play.
1-2 the count to Servetus. Swing and a miss, and it's in the dirt. Throw down to second will not be in time. And that will give, I think they said that it was not a drop third strike. And so Servetus is retired on the swing. One away on the strikeout. That'll bring up Jake Aleppa. Aleppa batting from the right. Dalton Porter on deck. The pitch, this is cut on and fouled back out of play for strike one.
At bat, number 6, Jake Aleppa.
A lot of new names on the roster this year. And Jake is one of those. Jake shows bunt, lays off, and takes ball one. That'll even the count up. 1 on with 1 out. A runner at second base for the Raiders. The first Raider in scoring position for the evening. That pitch misses down and away as Rimbish tries to work the outside corner. Rimbish has the sign from Bannister. From the stretch, the pitch, a fastball is cut on and hit foul for strike two. 2-2 the count to Jake Aleppa. Hutto outfielders move into the shift. The pitch looked to be low, but umpire calls him, brings him up on strikes. So Aleppa caught looking for out number 2.
Raiders, number 55.
Well, Michael
Dalton
Rouse has had their
Porter.
opportunities this evening. They just haven't been able to capitalize, and here we are again, 2-out territory, runner in scoring position here, tying run at home plate.
Rimbish with a curveball in for a strike. Porter takes for strike one. The pitch, it's out. Wow. Pitch way outside. He calls for a strike. 0-2 the count to Porter. Rimbish deals. Curveball, and Porter check swings and lays off. 1-2 the count. Rimbish checks the runner back to second. Pitch in the dirt for ball 2. And it's Bannister kind of runs into Porter. When Porter's in the box, he does not have to leave that box, so it would not be ruled interference. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Porter is retired. Down go the Raiders. Raiders strand 1. They get 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and on to the 4th we go with your Rouse Raiders trailing 2-0 to the Hutto Hippos.
moving into the top of the fourth again. Thanks for joining us this evening here on SHN Sports. Michael Francis on your play-by-play. I'm Rob Hipp, and again, we appreciate you joining us here this evening on a very chilly and frigid February evening. Just a week ago, there that weekend at St. Edward's calling baseball just this Saturday and Friday, seeing temperatures in some areas the 90s, and it just goes to show you how quick weather can change. And last year in April, we were broadcasting a game. It was 31 degrees, so it doesn't really matter what time of the year it is in Texas. You don't know what you're going to expect, Michael.
And that's true. We do have some changes as Dylan Lewis moves over to second base. Fisher Kingsbury moves behind the plate, and Jared Southard comes on to pitch. Raiders looking to make some changes here. So Jared Southern will just play into the order, and that will not change any of the batting lineup, as he was DHing for Matt Garcia at second base. Jared Southern has definitely bulked up over the summer and the fall. He spent a lot of time in the weight room and doing workouts, and it shows. Wind has died down somewhat, and flags are not flying as straight as they were previously. And of course I say that, and there comes a gust. Pretty good turnout for tonight's game.
I saw several fans walking in with portable propane heaters. Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Leading off for the Hippos in the fourth will be Gage Bame. He will be followed by Jason Vogelpohl and Zane Gardner.
It's another young man over the years that's bulked up quite a bit. Remember seeing Gage. And
Southern deals a fastball that's cut on and fouled back out of play.
At bat number
Strike
17,
one.
Bang.
Bame flew out to left in his first at bat. Another pop up. It's fouled back out of play, and it's nothing in two.
Bame's got a lot of power on his swing. He just needs to make the right connection.
And he's a good pitcher, too. The 0-2, this is crushed and goes foul. Goes foul out the right field side. Southern picks up the sign from Kingsbury. Curveball cut on and fouled back as Bame has made contact on every offering that Southern has put up there. Southern from the windup, he deals curveball in for a called strike through, and Bame caught looking. As Southern picks up his first strikeout of the season. The first of what we hope is many.
At bat number
That'll
12,
bring up
Vogelpohl.
number 12, Vogelpohl. Vogelpohl reached on a walk This time he gets one. He hits it over to Lewis at second. Throws over to first in time. That'll go 4-3 on the putout for out number 2. That'll bring up number 10, Zane Gardner.
At bat, number 10, Gardner.
Gardner grounded back to Kingsbury. Back in the second inning. And win it 1-3 on the putout. As he takes for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch from Jared Southard. Curveball in for strike 2. Wow, that was a sharp-looking curveball, Rob. Had great movement, broke back in over the plate.
Southern hopped out of the way of it, but beautiful pitch.
Fastball. He just blows by. 1, 2, 3. Go the Hippos in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors. On to the bottom we go with Rouse trailing 2-0 to the Hutto Hippos.
Yeah, nice 3 up, 3 down there for Rouse. They needed to get that spark on the defensive side. They got it. Now we'll see if the offense can come out and follow as well. And hey, just want to flash up real quick. Under fair conditions, 46 degrees outside tonight, going to be 39. And tomorrow we're only going to get up to about 42, 43. So it's just going to continue to get colder here. And as far as getting this game off, you know, before the weather hit, it didn't happen. You can see the weather there, little temperature on your screen. Well, Michael, of course, we'll bring you all district action. You'll be on the call all season long here for Rouse with all district play. But we do have 2 non-district games as well that Coach Crimpine wanted to make sure that we caught. Of course, the opener here, and then we'll have another one in district play starting next month. So we're excited to bring those games, all home and away games. You can catch them right here on SHN Sports. And friends out there, you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and you will be alerted as soon as we go live, so you don't have to worry about digging in and trying to find the links and all that. We make it easy as it is, but the subscribe button, Michael, really makes it easy.
Leading off for your Raiders, number 23, Jared Southern.
Leading off for the Raiders, as you heard on the crowd mic, number 23, Jared Southern. Southern, the strikeout victim, back in the 1st. Drew Rimbish back on the hill for the Hippos. Picks up the sign from Bannister, deals a curveball inside for ball 1. Lance Little on deck for the Raiders. The 1-0 pitch, this is cut on and hit out to center. This will fall in for a base hit, and Southern reaches. They call time to bring in a courtesy runner. That should be Ethan Moore running for the Raiders. Ethan
Next
Moore,
up for your Raiders, number 26,
quarterback for the
Lance
Rouse Raider
Little.
football team. He will be playing football for Texas Lutheran in the fall. That'll bring up number 26, Lance Little. Moore stays close to first. Rimbish in his pickoff move. And that time was not in time.
Courtesy runner, number 18, Ethan Moore.
Pitch, that's high and outside. Back throw to first, not in time from Bannister as Moore dives back in.
Graham's got a quick catch out there, though. It's already happened once tonight. Got to be careful out there on first base.
1-0 the count to Lance Little. Getting a lot of wind across the crowd mic right now. This is pop fly out towards center. Gardner tracks it, makes the catch, and Little is retired for the first out of the 4th.
Next up for your Raiders, number 22, Connor Bennett.
Number 22, Connor Bennett, now stands in for the Raiders. 1 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Here, Rouse Raiders trailing 2-0 to the Hutto Hippos. Curveball misses low for ball 1. Coach Crimpine calls time. He wants to talk with Bennett. Make sure they're on the same page. Moore with good speed. And as we all know, Coach Crimpine is not afraid to be aggressive on the base paths. Want to know the count to Bennett. Rimbish checks Moore over at first. The throw over, not in time as Moore dives back in. Rimbish comes set. The pitch. This is cut on. This is hit over into the gap between right and left. Moore around second. The ball is booted away, and Bennett in with a double. And the Raiders have runners at second and third. So he hits the gap between Gardner and Vogelpohl, and looked like Gardner may have booted it.
Well, 2 runners in scoring position now, Michael, and your 3rd run at home plate. We've seen this tonight with the Rouse Raiders. Can they capitalize? Only 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th.
They need to get that run across, and it's in the hands of Dylan Lewis right now. Lewis, the second baseman, he started the game playing catcher. Rimbish comes set. The pitch. That's high for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Lewis. Raiders would definitely like to knot this game up with these 2 base runners. The pitch from Rimbish. This is cut on and hit over to second. Second baseman has it. Will throw over to first in time. Aswa makes the play. 4-3 on the putout. Lewis picks up the RBI as the Raiders cut into the lead. Bennett moves over to third base. We go 4-3 on the putout on Lewis, and that'll bring up the catcher, number 34, Fisher Kingsbury. Tying run stands 90 feet away. The pitch from Rimbish, that's outside for ball 1. Rimbish picks up the sign from Bannister. He checks Bennett over to third, deals fastball in for strike 1. That'll even the count up 1-1. Well, friends, we're glad you're listening in to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. We're glad to have you. Thanks for listening. I'm Michael Francis alongside Rob Hipp tonight. Fisher takes for strike 2. A 1-2 pitch. Swing fouled back out of play. And the count will remain 1-2.
Those of you that are joining us for the first time and haven't maybe joined in previous seasons, you'll notice a little black box there down on the screen. That's actually the camera box, and perhaps as the season goes along, we'll be able to utilize that, Michael.
We hope so. A swing and a miss from Kingsbury, and that'll retire the side. Raiders get 2 hits, 1 run, and no errors in the 4th and cut into the lead. Hippos lead 2-1 as we move into the 5th inning with Rouse trailing 2-1. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Well, it's that time of year, you know, you get to hearing pitchers and catchers report and all those kinds of things. You start getting that baseball itch again, and you're glad to be here. And I'm glad that Coach Crampine chose the season opener to actually get one of those 4 broadcasts in.
Yeah, and this year I think is it 2 games. It's 2 games less than what we saw last year in district play.
4 games less.
4 games less.
Last year we had 16 district games. This year we have 12. And so we will bring you 4 non-district games, this being one of the 4. I believe that Coach Crampine is looking to bring 2 of the Leander ISD tournaments in March. And then the 4th game will be a good rival that has built over the past few years with Georgetown.
Yep, that'll be a fun one.
We will end the season here against Georgetown.
That'll be the SHN battle, as we'll have our crew and Rouse crew. We'll be excited about that. Well, friends, those of you that are joining us, feel free to send us a text message. The SHN fan line is currently open for text messaging, reminding you please don't text and drive. If you're out there listening, we'd love to hear from you. If you're watching, please send us a text message and say hello. That number's 512-522-9105. Again, the SHN fan text line open tonight at 512-522-9105. Feel free to send a text. We'd love to hear from you.
Leading off the 5th for the Hippos, number 11, Joel Aswa. Pitch misses low for ball 1. It's in the dirt. It'll be a wild pitch to Jared Southern. Kingsbury calls time. He wants to make sure that he and Southern are on the same page with the signs. One and 0 the count to Aswa. Pitch from Southern. Fastball. It's swung on and missed for strike 1.
Yeah, he thought about pulling away a little bit too late. He was already around to even it at 1-1.
Southern comes in, he winds and deals. A swing and a miss for strike 2.
Beautiful pitch that time.
As we're batting 9th in the order for the Hippos. The 1-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball 2. That'll even the count up at 2. 2-2 for Joel Aswa. The 2-2 pitch from Southern. Fastball outside for ball 3. That'll take the count full. The payoff pitch. Curveball in for strike 3. Aswa thought he had the walk, but he is retired as he was caught looking.
Seen 2 other payoff pitches tonight that resulted in a walk, and luckily there for Rouse, able to strike him out.
Back to the top of the order, Tyler Kelly. Kelly has doubled his first 2 times as he swings and misses for strike 1. Couldn't catch up to Southern's fastball. The 0-1 from Southern gets the top half of the zone for strike 2. Nothing and 2 the count to Kelly. This is cut on and hit out to the right. Alepa over, makes the catch, and Kelly is retired for the first time tonight. Two away. Nobody on for Carson Babb. Carson Babb is struck out and is flown out to left. So he takes for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch from Sutter. Foul tip back to the fence. Strike 2. Sutter works really quickly. He doesn't take a lot of time on the mound. He picks up his sign. He's ready to go. The 0-2 gets the outside corner for strike 3, and Babb caught looking. Sutter with his 4th strikeout of the night. He retires the side in order for the 2nd time tonight. No runs, no hits, no errors. On to the bottom of the 5th we go with your Rouse Raiders trailing 2-1. Pitching change for the Hippos. As soon as I see his number, I'll be able to give you his name. Looks like it may be number 2.
Yeah, it's a hard angle up here from one side. It looked like it was 9. We'll see here again. It is 9, I believe, Michael.
Is it?
Which would be Dylan Lee. We'll confirm that, but you can catch it whenever he gets that pitch off. Yeah, I think it is 9.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yep, it is Dylan Lee. We just got confirmation there of Dylan Lee on the mound getting his warm-up pitches now. Once again, friends, thanks for joining us. The SHN fan line open tonight. We'd love to hear from you here in our opening broadcast on SHN Sports. And for the Rouse Raiders, feel free to send a text message to 512-522-9105. One more time, that text number is open at 512-522-9105. We appreciate you watching here this evening and spending your Monday evening with us here on SHN Sports.
I'd definitely love to hear from you and give you a shout out. Or if you'd like to give a player a shout out, let us know.
Leading off for your Raiders, number 13, Isaac Upchurch.
Rouse entering here, bottom of the 5th, trailing 2-1, Michael. And we'll see if they can tie this one back up and take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
Isaac Upchurch flies out to left. One pitch, one out.
14, Alex Cervitas.
Now batting, number 14, Alex Cervatus.
Cervatus 0 for 1, struck out swinging earlier this evening. His 2nd at bat.
Pitch down and away for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Cervatus. The 3-0 is in the dirt for ball 4, and Cervatus will draw the walk.
Point hardly any hesitation, Michael. Of course, nobody on base when he was pitching, but hardly any hesitation from Lee. Just delivery after delivery after delivery. 4 quick pitches, all balls, and now Rouse on first base after the walk.
He's only thrown a total of 5 so far in this inning, and he will now face Jake Aleppa. Aleppa takes for strike 1.
We'll see if he slows things down now with the runner on first.
1 on with 1 out, runner at first. And Cervatus. The pitch, this is popped up out to right. This falls in for a base hit. And it's going to be in time to second base to get Cervatus on the fielder's choice.
Got the Rouse fans outside, and, man, it was close from up here, Michael.
Fielder's choice on a bloop. Texas Leaguer out to right field. That gives 2 away. This hit by Porter will be into the gap. The throw from right to third pulls the third baseman off. Kelly makes the catch, but that moves the runner to third base. Yeah, runners on the corners now with Dalton Porter and Jake Halepa. That'll bring up Jared Southard. Coach Crimpine calls time. He's going to bring a pinch runner in for Dalton Porter. And I didn't see the number. That may be Kai. Kai Katungal. Believe that's who that is.
More opportunities here for Rouse, trailing 2-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, but Michael, again, runners on the corners now.
So Katungal with very good speed.
Chatter going on down there at home plate with the umpire, and
just seems like a little bit of confusion there. This is cut on and hit foul as Southern jumped on that first pitch.
Almost lined that one right to Coach Crimpine. He had to do a little duck move out there.
Good hard swing. Strike one to Jared Southern. 2 outs with 2 on, runners at the corners. Pitch, this is hit deep out to left. And goes foul for strike 2. That was a long, deep fly ball to left in foul territory.
Carson had a lot of green to track there, and good run by Carson trying to get there in time, but it was just too far shift.
0-2 the count to Southern. Tying run just 90 feet away. Lee comes set. He deals high for ball 1. And that'll move Katungal down to second base. Runners at second and third for the Raiders. The pitch from Lee. That's inside for ball 2. As Southern does that little jump back. What'd you call it a while ago?
The inchworm.
The inchworm. Deuce is wild for Jared Southern. The pitch from Lee. That bounces in the dirt. That's going to allow Halepa to score. And the game is tied. And that'll move Katungal down to third base. Raiders with a chance here to actually take the lead with the go-ahead run at third base.
Michael, the same mistakes we saw Rouse committing early, now Hutto committing them and allowing Rouse to get in after that wild pitch. 2-2, tied up, bottom of the 5th.
Payoff pitch from Lee. This is cut on and hit deep out to left center. Gardner over makes the catch, and the side is retired, but the Raiders score a run on 2 hits and no errors. And after 5 complete, it's tied up 2-0 here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Thanks for tuning in, friends. We're glad to have you with us tonight. Due up for Hutto in the 6th, Curlin, Bannister, and Graham. Dalton Porter comes on in relief of Jared Southern as he goes 2 innings. As he strikes out 4 of the 6 batters he faced and retired every batter in order.
Michael, wanted to remind those out there, make sure to subscribe. You're watching this currently on YouTube. If you're on mobile, if you're on the computer, there's a notification bell on your screen. Make sure you click that. That way you can subscribe. You'll know live as soon as we go live. In fact, you'll probably know before us when we go live. So make sure that you subscribe. You'll always be in the know here for Rouse Raider Baseball. And the cool thing about doing this on YouTube, you know, the platform was the Cube years ago. We switched over to YouTube last year, and one benefit of having YouTube is it's almost on every device. All the TVs nowadays that are smart TVs come with it. You've got it on your cell phone. You have it on your computer, tablet. Virtually anywhere that you have an internet connection, you've got an opportunity. YouTube is one of the most well-known video mediums that's out there. That's why we elected to put these on YouTube, to give the fans out there an opportunity to watch this no matter where you're at. In fact, the other night during a Georgetown Lady Eagles basketball game, we had some of our friends that were on a cruise out in the middle of the ocean send us a message saying we're watching from the Carnival cruise way out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. So you never know where you're going to be able to catch these games.
How cool is that?
Of course, they're paying a premium for that internet on the ship, though, but hey, that's great.
Dalton Porter, the lefty, comes on in relief of Jared Southern. As far as I can tell, let's see, who did they move out to center? They moved to Lepa, and they put Jared Southern in right field. So Jared Southern has moved to right field. Jake Alepa has moved to center field. Dalton Porter is now on the hill as he faces Kyler Curlin for the first time tonight. The pitch from Porter in for a strike.
At bat number 2, Curlin.
Curlin is 1 for 2 on the night. He's flown out and singled. Pitch from Porter. He loses the grip, sails high for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Kyler Curlin. Porter comes set from the stretch. The pitch, this is cut on and popped up, possibly playable, but it goes over the fence for strike 2. One and 2 the count to Curlin. Porter takes a deep breath. He toes in on the rubber. Picks up the sign from Kingsbury. The 1-2 pitch. Misses high for ball 2. That'll even the count. If you're just joining in, we're into the top of the 6th inning with a game even at 2-2. Dalton Porter on the hill, and Hutto Hippos are at the plate. Swing and a miss from Curlin, and he is retired for the first out. And that'll bring up Luke Bannister. Southern worked through his mechanics. Porter takes a little more time. The 1-0 pitch from Porter. This is cut on and hit out to left or right. Southern makes the catch over his shoulder for out number 2.
Wow, what a grab by Southern there at right field. Extending his arm, reaching out. Great grab there for that second out, Michael. That is some great athleticism
play
on a cold night.
That's one of those da-da-da, da-da-da moments.
We'll eventually have our own little tone for that, Michael.
Yeah, that'll bring up number 8, Ricky Graham. Yep, don't want to rob from the 4-letter network. Ricky Graham is 0 for 2 on the night. He takes for strike 1. Porter paints that outside corner. Big first baseman stands in. Porter deals inside for ball one. That'll even the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Porter. Inside for ball two. That was high inside. Little chin music.
Little whisker shaving out there with the ball.
2-1 to count to Graham. The pitch from Porter. This is cut on and hit over to third. The throw over in time. That'll go 5-3 on the putout. The throw from Upchurch. And I will say this, if you don't see something unique here on that particular putout, if you look at the innings, Ricky Graham has ended the inning 3 times. Every plate appearance, he has ended the inning.
Wow, and they've all been ground outs too, it looks like.
Yeah, 4-3, 6-3, 5-3. So he's worked that area between second and third. And on to the bottom of the 6th we go. The Rouse Raiders and Hutto Hippos knotted up at 2. Due up for your Raiders in the 6th. Lance Little, Connor Bennett, and Dylan Lewis.
Well, as we go back, Michael, and I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, it was routine plays like that earlier Rouse was stumbling on, some errors out there in the field, and they finally have found that rhythm on the defensive end. It's allowed their offense to get out here, put those 2 runs on. They've left a few on tonight. The score could be in Rouse's favor right now. They've left quite a few on tonight, but we'll see if the offensive can continue here for the Raiders here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yep, because the Raiders they've stranded 2. Actually, no, they stranded 3 on the night, so you're right. Oh, wait, no, we stranded 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I was going to say they've left 3 or 4 on.
Yeah, we stranded 4 on the night. Lance Little takes for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from Lee. It's down and away for ball 2.
Those are the ones that'll leave. The coach not too happy either. We had several games at Georgetown last year where 8 were left on, and somehow Georgetown still pulled out the victory.
This is cut on and hit out to deep right center. Gardner over, able to make the play, and Little is retired.
Next up for your Raiders,
That'll bring up number 22, Connor Bennett. Bennett has reached on an error and doubled.
Two
Bennett
pitches and 2 strikes.
Falls behind in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 from Lee, swing and a miss, and Bennett is retired.
Lee starting to feel a little bit now, Michael.
Next up for your Raiders, number 1, Dylan Lewis.
That'll bring up Dylan Lewis. And Lewis is 0 for 2. He's grounded out both times. Takes pitch inside for ball 1. But he does have an RBI.
Start talking about those RBIs, I start getting hungry.
Takes for ball 2.
That's what Joshua Harris and I always say. We get the grills cooking.
Tell you
once
what,
we see the first ribeye.
Joshua Harris, what a class act. Swing and a miss from Lewis. That'll bring the count to 2-1. Lee winds and delivers. Fastball down low for ball 3. 3-1 the count. The pitch. Misses low for ball 4. And Lewis reaches for the first time tonight. That'll bring up the catcher, Fisher Kingsbury.
Raiders, number 34, Fisher.
Yeah, I was going to check for Lee. Was that the first time that he's walked the batter tonight?
Yep, that's his first walk of the night. Or wait, no, that's his second walk.
Second walk.
Yep. The throw down to second will be in time, and Lewis caught stealing. Side is retired, and kind of an inverted way, they go 1, 2, 3. After 6, we're still knotted up 2 at 2. On to the 7th we go. Due up for the Hippos in the 7th. Bame, Vogelpohl, and Gardner.
Well, you know when it's cold outside, it usually happens, Michael, to where you're going to get a little extra play. We'll see what happens tonight here in the 7th.
Dalton Porter back on the hill for the Raiders to pitch the 7th.
Also, if you're joining us tonight from a link from our friends at FanStan ATX, Snoop Daniel and all the fine folks over at Intercom Communications, thank you for joining us. Thank you to our friends at FanStan for their constant support of area high school athletics here in Central Texas. We appreciate the fine job of everyone there with FanStan. You know, normally they do a lot with football, but they're really getting involved with baseball, basketball, and sports throughout Central Texas. So, again, thank you to Snoop Daniel, Casey Johns, and all the fine folks at Intercom Communications, and thank you for sending out those retweets as well this evening.
So great having you with me tonight, Rob. This is the first time you and I actually got to work together since we worked the first 3 Georgetown games. Actually, first 4 Georgetown games.
Yep.
The football games, and so it's great to be back with you, partnered with you here tonight.
Great to be here as well, Michael. Appreciate you, my friend.
Number 17, Gage Bame, stands in for the Hippos to start the 7th. Dalton Porter on the hill for the Raiders. He has the sign from Kingsbury. He comes set and delivers. Swing and a foul back to the net for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Bame. Bame 0 for 2. He's flown out and struck out. The 0-1 pitch from Porter. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
2 pitches, 2 strikes. Good start. Especially when you got a guy like Bame at the plate. You know, he really wants to knock one out of here, Michael.
Porter comes set. He delivers a curveball, misses outside as that thing hangs upstairs. I'll tell you what, there's no umpire that's going to call him for balk on not coming set. Porter pitching exclusively from the stretch. The pitch, a fastball down for ball 2.
And that's a rule that, especially the collegiate level, you don't see it too much in D3, but in D2 and especially D1, you'll see a lot more of those balks called. You don't see as many in high school. They allow them to get away with a little bit more than you normally would.
2-2 the count to Gage Bame. Porter once again comes set. And the pitch. And he hits him in the back. Porter loses him on the inside pitch.
And the tattoo shop is open for the first time tonight.
And that's the first hit batter of the night for both squads. Hippos have a runner on with Vogelpool coming up to the plate. Lefty on lefty matchup. Porter comes set. Vogelpool shows bunt. Throw down from Kingsbury on the back pick. Not in time as Bame gets back in.
Bame is not a very fast runner either, Michael, and so he's got to be cautious leading off on that first base. He almost didn't make it back in time.
Snap throw over to first, not in time. Bame gets back in. Not sure what the call was on that pitch. He showed bunt and laid off. And again, he shows bunt. The pitch, he does lay down the bunt. Throw over to first will be in time, and Vogelpool is retired, but that will move Bame over to second. One out with one on, runner at second, engage Bame. That'll go 5-3 on the putout.
Now we'll see another runner come in here for Bame.
Bring somebody a little more fleet of foot, and I think that's number 3.
It is. That'll be
Roque
Rodriguez.
Roque Rodriguez. Guess that's the Spanish form of Rocky, maybe? Roque Rodriguez. Number 10, Zane Gardner stands in. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. One on with one out. Rodriguez gets an extended lead from second. And Porter delivers, swing and a miss from Gardner for strike one. Porter checks Rodriguez back at second, spins off and holds up. Looks the runner back. Toes back in on the rubber. Comes set, deals, fastball. Got on, fouled back out of play for strike two. 0-2 the count to Gardner. Comes set, the 0-2 pitch. That's cut on and hit back up the middle. Lewis has it, throws over to first in time. That will move Rodriguez over to third. 2 away. That'll go 4-3 on the putout. Runner at third, 4. The number 9 batter, and that's Joel Aswa, who's 0 for 2 on the night. He's grounded out and been caught looking. Coach Crampine calls time, and let's go talk to Dalton. Maybe talk to, he's going to talk to his entire infield.
Yeah, he'll bring everybody in here and chat. The outfield, they're going to get together as well out there between them.
Have their own little confab so that they don't feel left out, right?
They're doing that to stay warm, Michael. It's very cold outside. It's very smart. You know, you get 3 98.6s together.
Uh-huh.
That's what's going on out there.
It's like Coach Crampine said, I know you boys are cold. Let's get in here and powwow just a little bit. We're going to warm up.
Home plate umpire is going to say, all right, that's enough time, guys.
He said, I'm cold too, but I just want to go home.
You don't have to rush these. You know, it's Whataburger's 24 hours, you know. Depends on what restaurant you're eating at, Michael.
Right. We've had our share of Whataburger this year, haven't we, Rob?
You and I did a lot of Southwestern football on the road again, man.
And, of course, we got to eat at the Happy Cowboy over in Brownwood,
That's
Texas.
right.
First offering gets underneath Kingsbury. That's going to allow Rodriguez to score to take the lead.
That's unfortunate right after you have a conference on the mound, and it's a critical mistake that we've seen several times tonight, Michael, and now it's going to wreak havoc here in the 7th inning and allows that tie-breaking run.
That'll be a wild pitch from Dalton Porter. A 1-0 pitch to Azwa. He pops this one up. It is playable. Little tracks it, makes the catch, and the side is retired. But not until after the damage was done, as that allowed the go-ahead run to score on the hit by pitch. After 6.5, your Rouse Raiders trail 2-1. No hits, 1 run, no errors. On to the bottom of the 7th we go. Your Rouse Raiders trail 2-1. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Again, friends, thanks for joining us this evening here on SHN. Michael Francis on your play-by-play tonight. I'm Rob Hipp. We appreciate all the fine folks here at Rouse High School, all the volunteers, the parents, everybody here tonight. Folks up here doing PA, keeping scoreboard, we appreciate them. And there's a lot of things with any event, Michael, that goes on behind the scenes. And you talk about folks in the concessions that do their work, the guys that are in charge of facilities and keeping everything in order. We talked to Scott Mount earlier, who was the president of the Booster Club last year and still heavily involved. And you're heavily involved, of course, doing play-by-play, and your son's since graduated. And just another fun season here. We're excited. If you're a Rouse fan, you're not too excited right now. But we'll see 3 opportunities here for Rouse, and we'll see if they can do something here in the bottom of the 7th. They've got to score.
Due up for the Raiders in the bottom of the 7th, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. That'll be Fisher Kingsbury, Isaac Upchurch, and Alex Servetus. Lee back on the hill for the Hippos as Kingsbury fouls one off and goes out of play.
Sounded like that one hit the stands next to us. See, the joy here, Michael, is you don't have an open press box window with a fan sitting right in front of you to tell you that it didn't hit the press box.
Right.
Early 0-2 here.
The 0-2 pitch from Lee. That swung on and fouled back out of play as Kingsbury stays alive. Raiders need base runners. The 0-2. Curveball in the dirt for ball 1. Well, remember Dylan Lewis earlier was behind 0-2 and ended up drawing the walk. That pitch misses outside. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Lee. That's in for strike 3 as he gets the outside corner for strike 3.
Next up for your Raiders, number 13, Isaac Upchurch.
Now batting Isaac Upchurch as he swings and misses at the first offering from Lee. The 0-1 pitch. Another swing and a miss from Upchurch. And he falls behind 0-2. Upchurch is 1 for 2 on the night. he is singled and flown out to left. His third plate appearance as he swings and misses. As Lee has got back-to-back strikeouts. And the Raiders are down to their final out in Alex Cervedas.
Next up for your Raiders, number 14, Alex
I was going to say
Cervedas.
Hutto's getting the heater turned on the bus already, Michael.
Lee toes in. He winds and fires. Curveball in for strike one. Raiders down 3-2. He fouls that one off for strike two. The Raiders down to their final strike. This is cut on and hit up the middle through short, and it'll go through his legs. And Cervedas reaches on the error.
Well, what could have been a routine ground out, Hutto could have already been running back, and Rouse, chance to breathe here a little bit more life.
Similar situation earlier where Cervedas had reached and Aleppa hit into a fielder's choice.
Hey, come on, Aleppa.
Be a good time for a little walk-off homer here, Michael.
Aleppa takes for ball one. 1-0 the count. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. That'll leave the count up at 1. 1 on with 2 outs, runner at first. Alex Cervedas at first. Lee comes set. And he's saying that Aleppa went around and he check swings. He didn't hold, and he held up, it looked like to me, but umpire said no.
Looked like about a 45-degree angle bat back our way.
The 1-2 upstairs for ball 2. Deuces wild for Jake Aleppa. Dalton Porter on deck. Lee comes set. The pitch. Curveball in for a called strike 3. Wow. As Aleppa caught looking. And that'll end it, folks. Your Rouse Raiders drop the season opener to the Hutto Hippos 3-2. Has to be a disappointing loss for the Raiders tonight on what was a close game, and it wasn't a back and forth game. Raiders were down early in this game, and they ended up battling back and tied the game, and they let the run score in the top of the 7th. The Raiders had a tie ball game going into the 7th, and Dalton Porter with Gage Bame at the plate had not reached on the night. He was 0-for on the night, and had him in a go back to it.
I'll just look at
Had
the
him,
sportsmanship
yeah.
too, Michael, out there on the mound. That's great to see that.
So you had if I remember correctly, it was a full count on Gage Bame. And on the next delivery, Porter ends up hitting him in the back and losing him. Actually, it's 2-2 count. That's what it was. Ended up losing him on there and got him on base. And they brought Roque Rodriguez in when Gage advanced to second. And that run eventually scored and took the lead. So unfortunate for the Raiders that they weren't able to keep that from happening, and they dropped the opening ball game 3-2 to the Hutto Hippos.
It was just a mistake-riddled game, you know, and the good news is you're non-district play. You've got plenty of time to work things out. You've still got several games under your belt before you move into district play. We won't see that until about a month from now or so,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken. And, again, I talk about this throughout any broadcast with Rouse. You've got a solid leader. and Coach Crimpine, a true professional, and he knows how to shape and mold these kids. You have 16 seniors that have departed, 16 players no longer here that were here before. It's a rebuilding year. It is what it is. It's a rebuilding year for Rouse, but they come out here tonight. You see the mistakes. They're going to be able to look at these mistakes. They'll clean it up, and we should see another great season for Rouse, but they're going to have to work through. This isn't your typical Rouse Raider start that many folks are expecting to see when you have this kind of shift. We see it in so many sports at the high school level. I mean, talking about a different sport, I saw it with the Georgetown Lady Eagles, where they had not one single returning senior last year for the first time in 40 years.
Wow.
And they come back this year, and they go undefeated in district. And so, you know, you don't want it to take a whole season, though. You want it to see the change happen this season, and I think under the leadership of Coach Crimpine we'll see that. So, you know, I appreciate you letting me be here and provide a little bit of commentary where I can. Michael, excited about this season, excited about the opportunity, and again, thank you to Raider Nation and everybody associated with this program and the school system here in Leander ISD. We certainly do appreciate everyone associated with Rouse and the Rouse baseball program, so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. We're glad to be a part of SHN Sports and bring such a fine program to this program. So positives all night. We saw some good pitching, relatively good pitching from the Raiders. They only ended up giving up 3 runs on the night. Jared Southard, definitely a big plus, but you saw some effectiveness from all 3 pitchers tonight, and Fisher Kingsbury and Dalton Porter and Jared Southard. So those are the positives that you can definitely take away from this. Definitely got some field work that needs to go on. We did make a couple of errors that allowed some runs to score. Most unfortunate, but that's what this is for. This is the time of the year that you work all the bugs out and get it polished for, as you said, district play that'll be coming up. So,
and we always have the bugs to work out too, you know. So
right.
I took away some notes here, some things that we're going to do as we continue to move forward. We always want to bring the best quality that we can, and with you at the helm, Michael, and doing that, we know that is here. We appreciate that, and so this season we're hoping to bring more interviews with Coach Crimpine, and maybe some players of the game interviews at the end of the game. So we'll talk about those things, but we really want to continue our processes with all the schools that we work for and really make it a dynamic and engaging broadcast as it has been in the years past, and very excited about what's on the horizon here for not only what we do for Rouse, but the Rouse baseball program in general, Michael.
Well, thanks, Rob. We do appreciate it. Well, we drop one tonight, 3-2 to the Hutto Hippos. We look forward to being with you again soon. Not exactly sure which games that we'll be doing next. I know that right now on the schedule it's 2 games with the Leander Independent School District Tourney. Not sure exactly which games those are. Those are TBA, to be announced, and we'll get those posted on Twitter feed and also
SHNsports.com/baseball is the place to make sure you keep an eye on. And so, and again, the easiest way, as I've always said, subscribe on YouTube. You click the little bell icon, you'll get the notification. You'll know when we go live, and that's the best way to stay active with what we're doing.
That's awesome. Well, we want to thank you for listening in tonight, and I want Rob to go ahead and close it out because I love this closeout on every one of his broadcasts, and I like to do it on mine too. But I'm going to let the man who does it do it.
Michael, appreciate you, and again, all of our friends here tonight in Leander, Texas. Thank you for joining us. Also, those Hutto fans that may have been joining us as well. We're friends reminding you tonight that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there tonight needs you. Until next time, good night and God bless from Rouse High School. Good night, friends.